Hey folks, Brian here, Bike Hike Camp Ireland. Okay, so today's problem is this seat dropper post, which came off this Trek Remedy. Normally, what I'd say is that sometimes a seat dropper post might not be working because one, there's a break in the cable. Um, Two, the seat post clamp might be too tight or overly torqued. You can actually see here when I do the trigger on this that the cable is broken, but it's still actually working. So it's a KS seat dropper post. It's an old one. This is an old bike. It's been well used. The person who owns this doesn't want to spend a big heap of money on taking this seat dropper post apart. Here it's a 31.6 mil seat post, so I've just gone ahead and bought a brand new one. It's 150 mil travel, this one. It's DXC is the brand. I got it on Bike 24. It cost about 82 euros. Like I say, 150 mil travel. Trigger isn't great on these ones, but for 82 quid, you can't complain. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm cutting the cable ties that hold the old one in place. So I'm just snipping them off, and I'm holding the phone, so it makes it a little bit awkward. I don't actually snip through the other cables are hydraulic brake hose cable for the rear brakes. I need to be careful there. So it's always really important as well to check which way the existing cable is routed, but also to check which side the seat dropper post switch is on. So on this one, it's on the right hand side, but they can go right or left. So it's important that you know. So I'm just removing the old seat dropper post switch. Okay, I'm taking that off there. Any small bits, I'm just putting them into this magnetic tray, which is really handy. You can see that there, it holds stuff in place. And I'm also giving the bike a clean so I can work with it. It was pretty dirty, so I'm just giving it a quick clean. Yeah. So just as I'm cleaning it down, I'm also checking the bike a bit. And I noticed on this bike that the brake pads are gone on the front and the rear, so I'm actually going to replace them while I'm at it. But haven't done a video for that today. So yeah, you can see good RockShox pike on the front fork. So there's good tires on it. Tires are actually in good nick as well. So here what I'm doing is I'm popping in the brand new cable. I'm going to put it all the way up and pull it through and try and feed it back down through the rear triangle again. It was a bit tight. The old one was fitted quite tight. So I'm just rerouting it the same way. You can see here I'm just routing it out the same way down at the back of the rear triangle, and then looping it up over between the pivot and the bottom bracket. So there's our trigger. Here's the new seat dropper post. Like I say, 150 mil travel. It's pretty good for like 82 quid. So I made a mistake here of routing the cable, the inner cable the wrong way. So the correct way is actually through the trigger first. And they can go the other way as well. But on this one, it's trigger first. And now I'm just fitting on the new trigger. So a little bit of a fiddly job, but it's worth just taking your time with it. Okay, just take my time, fit that on, and now I'm feeding it in the cable end into the outer sleeve. So at the seat post trigger, there's also a barrel adjuster to tighten up the cable, to make some adjustments when it does stretch a little bit. And here you can see the little bolt that actually threads onto your cable, which is here, and then you sit the seat dropper post down onto it. It kind of fits into that, so you don't actually lose that little bolt. So I'm tightening it up here. It just kind of, it's a bolt that has another little grub screw on the inside of it that basically just clamps it. I'm trimming that off. I did actually have to fit this a second time because there's too much slack on that. Even though the barrel adjuster is all the way in, I had to take, there is actually way too much slack on that. So I had to take another 8-10 mil off the cable. So, but you know, better to cut it a little bit longer than to cut it too short. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm tightening up the seat clamp, but not overly tightening it. If you over tighten it, what happens is it clamps down on the post and it won't actually allow the post to actuate. So yeah, just trimming off these excess cable ties, and then getting the bike ready just to finally test it. I did do the brakes on this bicycle as well. And then I'm just pushing the cable ties in so that there's no sharp edge that catches them. And there you go, seat post working good.